Guess what I saw at my fish market? Mahi-mahi. My shooting schedule was completely full for that day, but I absolutely had to make a mahi video. The only reason I don't have one yet is that mahi is not always available in the Boston area. It's not that rare, but since I record a month worth of videos in one day, it's hard to count on finding mahi in the store the day before I plan to shoot. But the stars finally aligned and I had to seize this opportunity and make a mahi video. There'll be some improvisation involved, and it won't always be pretty, but it will be tasty. Next time you feel bad that your food doesn't look beautiful, just take a look at this, and you'll feel a lot better. Yup, that's what my normal food looks like. In case you've never had mahi, it's kind of like a baby swordfish. On the firm side, but if you cook it right, it will be tender and succulent. The easiest way to remove the skin is to cut the fillet into pieces that are about 3 inches wide. Set each fillet close to the edge of your board. Make sure the handle of your boning knife is hanging off the board so that you can get perfect contact with the skin. Start at the bloodline and cut off the flesh as if you're scraping it off the skin. Pressing on top of your fillet will help stabilize it. The bloodline is this dark meat that tends to taste a bit fishy, and I prefer to remove it and discard it with the skin. The skin is very pretty, but unfortunately it's way too tough to eat. You can certainly cook the fillets whole, but I want to give this dish a stew-like feel, so I'll cut my fish into large cubes. Make sure they're not too little so that the fish doesn't overcook. The key to juicy mahi and swordfish is salting them ahead. This is called dry brining, and it reduces the moisture loss during cooking. The most convenient way to salt ahead is to do it overnight in the fridge, or for at least 2 hours. If you didn't plan ahead and want to give this fish a quick pre-salt, let it sit at room temperature for 45 minutes after salting. The warmer environment will help the salt absorb faster. While the fish is salting, let's make some saffron rice. I served it with the lamb stew in a video a few months ago, and many of you asked for a recipe, so here you go. I have 1.5 cups of rinsed jasmine rice. I find that if you don't rinse it, the rice doesn't come out as fluffy. Put the rice into a rice cooker or an instant pot or a regular pot. Add 1.5 cups of water for a rice cooker or instant pot. If using a regular pot, add an extra 2 tablespoons of water to take evaporation into account. Add salt to taste and a pinch of crumbled up saffron threads. Stir everything together, then seal the pot and set it on the rice setting. Let the cycle complete and let the pressure drop naturally. If using a regular pot, cover and set over high heat. When the steam starts to escape from the lid, reduce the heat to low and cook for 20 minutes. Then take off heat and let rest for 10 minutes. Open the pot, add 1 to 2 tablespoons of butter and fluff up the rice. Taste and adjust for salt. If the rice is too bland, add more salt. If it's too salty, add a squirt of lemon juice. Okay, our rice is done and it's time to cook the fish. Put a tablespoon of neutral oil like canola into a large non-stick skillet and set it over high heat. While the pan is preheating, dry the fish very well between 2 layers of paper towels. Damp fish will sweat and won't brown. When the pan is hot and the oil gets very shimmery, add the fish in a single layer, starting with the biggest pieces and ending with the smallest. Cook without disturbing until you get some color. This will take 2 to 3 minutes. Flip all the pieces and cook just until done, another 2 to 3 minutes. If the fish is done before it browns on the other side, so be it. Doneness is more important than browning. You might need to take the smaller pieces out sooner. Here's how to tell when the fish is done. Cut into it. If the very center looks raw but the rest of the piece is done, get it out of the pan immediately. The center will finish cooking while the fish is resting. If the fish looks completely cooked through when you are testing, it will likely overcook by the time you eat it. So really try to catch it when the very center is still translucent. let your fish rest for about 5 minutes. This will give us a chance to improvise a little sauce. Since another video I was shooting that day was the kale spinach pesto, I decided to use it as a sauce. The link for it is in the description below. Just like with pasta, I threw in some pine nuts and raisins, the pesto, about a tablespoon of butter and the fish. Then I warmed it all up on low heat just until the sauce got hot. Be gentle when stirring so that you don't break up the fish too much. This is a fabulous weekday meal because the pesto kills two birds with one stone. It's both the veggie and the sauce. It turned out to be an absolute nightmare to photograph. I mean, look at this. But the taste more than makes up for the ugliness. This fish is tender and moist, and as you can see, once it rested, it flakes very easily. The only thing this dish is missing is some heat. I mean, like chili. I didn't add any because my family would rebel. But if your family is pro-spice, go to town. You can add some cayenne to the salt you use to season the fish, or stir in some hot sauce into the pesto. If you like your food spicy, I'm sure you have several options up your sleeve. Obviously, mahi is not the only fish you can use for this dish. Swordfish is an obvious substitute, but I think this combination of greens, raisins, and pine nuts would be great with catfish, monkfish, shrimp, and pretty much any seafood that's relatively firm. Since the fish is completely coated in the wet sauce, I wouldn't waste the fish with a tasty skin on this dish so that the sauce doesn't make the skin soggy. Here are more culinary tutorials for you to check out, and the link to my online classes is in the description below.